setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the road, intent, one last look in the mirror. They're gonna know your name, somebody's gonna take a second look. Too cool to choose single, any angle, hypersexual, serial beast.
Good evening. Welcome to another edition of PCW PowerBomb Championship Wrestling. I'm Norm Waymer, along with the former champion Andy Shane. Got a great night of wrestling for you here tonight. This is actually really jam-packed. Before we get into this, I want to thank our sponsors, Seaway Marketplace on Cherry and Bancroft, also Mike Seeger's Red Wing Shoes on North Reynolds Road, the Beer Stube, the Toledo Academy of Beauty, and also the Somerset Bingo Hall. All right, so how are you today?
Just remember, when you support our sponsors, you're supporting PowerBomb Championship Wrestling, and you're making a better place for all wrestling in the world today.
Well, we can't do it without you, and now that PCW is reaching nearly a potential audience of nearly 1 million people, if you're a business owner, we can help you get your word out and do it at a great price. And you can contact us through Facebook, Twitter, or however you want to do that, or our website at pcwexcitement.com. All right, we got a loaded show for you today. We'll talk more about our live event coming up on Sunday, January the 25th at the International Boxing Club. You will hear some interviews with Chuck Wagon, Rick Baker. Also, you'll hear more from the Mod Father, whether you want to hear it or not. And we got some great matches for you, including you will see Chris Carnage against the Voodoo Murderer. You're going to see a great match between Sean Casey and Rick Baker, who was then known as D-Ray 3000. But let's get into a little bit about this guy because, as I mentioned, he's the former PCW heavyweight champion, and I wanted to show everybody how you became the PCW heavyweight champion.
I've never claimed to be an angel. I've never claimed to be squeaky clean. I have been known to infract upon a rule on occasion when it was necessary, and I'm just trying to say that every so often things happen. The ref doesn't see it. I've been known to take advantage of it. I'm trying to be a nicer guy, but these things happen.
This was about 3-4 years ago, just to back up, and you became the #1 contender. Bobo Brazil Jr. was the champion. Jerry Graham was really kind of basically at both your quarters, really didn't want the two of you to wrestle. And Scott Romer was the special guest referee.
Well, there's a lot of history between all of us, be it Dr. Graham, Bobo, myself, Scott Romer. All of us have been around a long time. We've been against each other, we've been with each other, and it's one of those things that, when a championship's involved, intensity builds up, and you do what you have to do to prove you're the best at that time.
Let's just go and show you what we're talking about. Let's take a look at the match. There's no friendship left over now.
No.
Oh,
but again,
my goodness.
This is for the PCW heavyweight title.
That's a knee right to the back of the head.
Both of these wrestlers, as we've seen throughout this matchup, pulling out all the stops.
Well, you think Bobo can't get rough?
Oh, he can.
Oh, God.
Andy Shane was just open, and Bobo delivering that forearm right in to the chest of Andy Shane. And another one. Well, a chop there.
You know what, though? This is the way it should be. One-on-one, straight up, mano-a-mano.
You can see why that this feud has been banned in a number of arenas, a number of states. The Athletic Commission saying, you guys aren't allowed here.
DDT. Can he get him?
The only good thing for Andy Shane, when he fell, his foot ended up getting draped on that bottom rope.
And I see back in the corner, Dr. Jerry Graham's come out to take a peek. I had a feeling he couldn't stay back in
hard for him not to watch
forever.
And Andy Shane tried to go into those eyes of Bobo Brazil, didn't quite get it, but Bobo now goes off the ropes. Maybe he did, and they were both staggered. Maybe he did get more into that eye than what we thought from a broadcast position. And both wrestlers go down.
They both collided.
Now what's Scott Romer doing? Scott Romer reaches in his pocket.
Oh no!
What, a blackjack? And Andy Shane covers him.
You gotta be kidding.
So Scott Romer, Norm, what happened? Scott Romer reached into his pocket, got out a blackjack.
New PCW heavyweight champion,
Andy Shane.
Hit Bobo Brazil with that blackjack, and now the new champion is Andy Shane.
I got to find out what's going on.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Now, is Andy Shane aware of what happened? Is Andy Shane aware that Scott Wright? Yeah.
Now wait a second here. What's the deal? What's with the blackjack? The blackjack that you pulled out of your pants. The thing you hit Bobo Brazil with.
Listen, an hour ago, this man talked with me, and the simple fact is, Scotty Romer is now Andy Shane's manager. Not only is Scott Romer Andy Shane's manager, Scott Romer now manages the PowerBomb Championship Wrestling World Champion.
Andy Shane is your new champion. Andy Shane and Scott Romer.
What about Dr. Jerry Graham?
What about Dr. Graham? If he ever needs anything, all he's got to do is call.
And I guess
The funny thing is,
back on Dr. Jerry
I
Graham.
managed and Andrew tonight. This is the first time he's advanced all the way up to.
Oh, and Bobo Brazil asked Scott Romer. Scott Romer better get out of there. Did you just call Andy Shane Andrew Shane?
All right, there you have it. And then this guy became the third PCW heavyweight champion.
You know, I would be remiss to say that I didn't see Scott Romer use the blackjack on Bobo.
Oh, yeah.
But with that
Because
said,
I'm sure that never came up before the match.
I'm not going to pretend I didn't know he had it either.
I'm not.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying at the moment I was...
What a surprise for you.
I was minorly incapacitated at the moment. But when I came to, I was not overly surprised to find Bo lying in the prone position, if you will, actually supine, if you will, position. And, you know, you take advantage. I'm sorry, this is pro wrestling. This isn't basket weaving. You know, stuff
It's
like
not the ballet. I understand that. So this led into one of your title defenses. Scott Romer became your manager.
Yes, he did.
Jerry Graham did not take this all very well.
You know, it's just one of those things that happens. Misunderstanding, if you will.
Well, I don't think there's a whole lot to misunderstand what happened there. So you were forced to defend your title against Jerry Graham's son, Fabian.
Well, it'd be his brother.
Or his brother, yes, his brother. I'm
So,
sorry.
and then, you know what, and you take that...
You got me all worked up here, too.
Take that nutball off the medication, next thing you know, wild things happen.
His much younger brother, we'll put it that way. How's that? This led to a title defense. Andy Shane defends against Fabian Aloysius Graham.
And Fabian goes to the outside.
Well, you think about this. Andy Shane was trained by Jerry Graham.
And he's caught.
Oh, look at that!
I've never seen Andy Shane
Head first right into the pole!
Oh, my word. My word. Look at that. Scott Romer was trying to run over.
He had to have broken him wide open.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt on that one, Norm.
There's got to be a concussion, a cracked skull, something.
He caught him and sent him in like a dart.
Oh, my gosh.
Rolling Andy Shane back into the ring because Andy Shane's not going to go back in the ring on his own. I think Andy Shane is busted open, Norm.
Oh, he had to be.
Yeah, it looks like it from where we're sitting. I mean, there's no way that you couldn't. Yeah, Fabian's not going to win any awards
there's
for
no
technical
question.
wrestling. And now it's just, he's, yeah, we're definitely seeing a little bit of blood here. Yeah, it's easy to tell when Fabian has not been on his medication.
Well, I tried to tell Andy Shane, he has no idea what he's unleashed.
No, not at all. I mean, this is a guy that was locked up for decades, Norm.
Oh, look at that. But look what he's got in his hand.
Yeah, he's got some sort
he
of
has got
object.
something in his hand. Oh, and he's just jabbing it right in the skull of Fabian.
He's going to break open Fabian Aloysius Graham. And this is the one
Look
thing.
at that thing.
With
I don't know if that's a piece of metal, a screwdriver, what it is.
Who knows what that is? What they found in the locker.
And he just look at that. He just gave it to Scott
back
Romer.
And forth. Now Fabian was able to just basically brush off that drop.
Oh, and
kick
now
goes for a
Fabian's
cover.
busted open as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, my goodness.
Just punching Andy Shane. Yeah, both of these wrestlers now
This is
busted open.
just vicious. This is as vicious as you will see.
It's not a wrestling match, it's a brawl. Now,
Yeah,
granted,
this is a Pier 6 brawl.
We've got the PCW heavyweight title on the line here.
Big
but
clothesline.
tries to get his hands on Scott Romer.
And Romer just gave that right back.
And they've been working,
Look at that. That's despicable.
These guys are so sneaky with what they do here.
That is absolutely despicable.
On Andy Shane trying to get a few words in on
These guys
Dr.
are
Jerry
disgusting.
Graham.
Look at
and
that.
handing it right back.
Blatant.
And even the crowd is chanting cheater. They see what's going on as Scott Romer tucks that object, and again, we don't know what that object is, but he tucks that object into his pocket.
Scott Romer is a snake,
Yes,
and Andy Shane is a traitor.
that would sum things up precisely.
Oh my gosh. But Fabian's not going away.
No, not at all. And Fabian takes the shirt off. He means business now. Just throws those forearms into the chest of Andy Shane. Does that whistle have any more effect on Fabian Aloysius Graham?
Well, yeah, he's trying to get him to attack.
Trying to rile him up even more. I thought he was attacking.
But still, this is a 2-on-1.
Exactly. And look at that.
And look at that.
Oh, you're kidding me.
While Romer's choking, Andy Shane had whatever that was in his hand. And now here comes Jerry Graham.
But look at that now. Andy Shane grabbing a chair that was strategically placed underneath the ring.
Well, what are they going to do with a chair?
And he's grabbing his chain.
These guys are disgusting.
I mean, how many foreign objects are they going to use in this match?
Oh, now Fabian's got the chair. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, and cracking
He just
Andy
waffled.
Shane. Wow.
Andy Shane.
And the referee calling for the bell. The referee just gets hit with a chair himself. Oh, he's killing
Fabian
the
is out of
referee.
control.
He's killing the referee with a chair. Oh, my gosh.
Fabian's gone nuts.
They've lost control here. They have totally lost control. Norm, I would advise not
Fabian's
going
been
up
disqualified.
there. That's not the only call, but I don't think the referee can officially let you know because he's incapacitated until further notice.
Your winner as a result of a disqualification and still PCW World Heavyweight Champion Andrew Shane. It's PCW Live coming your way Sunday, January the 25th, International Boxing Club, 525 Earlwood Avenue, East Toledo, Oregon, right off of Star and I-280. Doors open at 4, bell time at 5. You can get your tickets right this second. Go to the website, PCWExcitement.com. That's PCWExcitement.com. 3 big title matches on the card. The champion, Phil Nitro Monahan, will defend against the number 1 contender, his former tag team partner, Malice, with the Mod Father in his corner. Also, first ever Cruiserweight title match. Phil Atlas against the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker. You'll see tag team gold strapped on somebody, either the Asian Assassins with the Mod Father in their corner against Jack Thriller, Justin Maine. You'll see Andy Shane on the card. Big Broderick Shaw will make his PCW debut. And you'll see a battle of the 300-pounders. Will Studd as he takes on this guy, Big Chuck Wagon.
That's right, Norm. Don't forget it. Big Chuck Wagon. Will Studd, I'm not taking you lightly. Former heavyweight champ. I've been working out, training, and I'm coming for you. Fear the fat, buddy. Still on? Hello? Hello?
Still on.
Still on?
Still on.
But anyways, and when I win and they raise my hand, I want all the youngins to come celebrate with me in the ring.
You're going to see it. This guy, Big Chuck Wagon, as he battles Will Studd, the big 300-pounder. He is the former PCW heavyweight champion. You will see these two tangle. It comes your way on Sunday, January the 25th. International Boxing Club, 525 Earlwood Avenue in East Toledo. You want to get tickets, you can get them right now at PCWExcitement.com, PCWExcitement.com, and you are not going to want to miss it.
Breathe deep for cooling, yeah, sun setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the road.
I I shop at Seaway Marketplace because they have the fastest lines in town.
Seaway Marketplace.
This is my store.
I buy almost all of my produce here at Seaway Marketplace for my home and my restaurant.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace Deli has the best chicken in town.
This is my store. I shop at Seaway Marketplace because of the big selection of meat and seafood.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace, corner of Cherry and Bancroft.
Seaway Marketplace. This is my store.
Your career will occupy 1/3 of your life. Shouldn't it be fun, profitable, and secure? The Toledo Academy of Beauty has successfully trained over 10,000 graduates in the cosmetology industry. Call 419-478-6660 for a free brochure. We also offer beauty services by supervised students. Even professional wrestlers like Dr. Jerry Graham is a client. Have fun, be cool, choose the right beauty school. It's Toledo Academy of Beauty. It's the Beer Stube, located at 5333 Monroe Street, the home of the NFL Sunday Ticket. Catch your favorite game at the Beer Stube. We have a brand new kitchen open daily for lunch and dinner at 11 a.m. At the Beer Stube, it's a Wi-Fi hotspot and enjoy free pool from Sunday through Wednesday and premier karaoke Wednesday night through Saturday night. It's where bar, grill, and good times come together. It's the Beer Stube, 5333 Monroe Street, online at ToledoBS.com.
Since 1905, Red Wing Shoe Company has been making purpose-built work footwear. The skilled employees in our 3 U.S. factories build over 1.2 million pairs of shoes annually. We are the largest Red Wing shoe dealer in northwestern Ohio with over 2,500 pairs in stock. Stop by our newly renovated store at 2122 North Reynolds Road. Shoes and boots that have served generations of hard-working people.
Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight.
Back we are, PCW PowerBomb Championship Wrestling. I'm Norm Weimer, along with the former champion Andy Shane. And as you saw in the last match, he successfully defended his PCW title. Now, PCW back in action coming up on Sunday, January the 25th, International Boxing Club, 525 Earlwood Avenue, East Toledo, just off of Star and I-280. We still haven't found you an opponent yet. We got to find you an opponent. We also, Andy will be on the card. Also, we will see Broderick Shaw making his PCW debut.
Absolute monster. Broderick Shaw, big as a house, and one of the most athletic men I've ever seen.
Big Chuck Wagon against Will Studd, a couple of 300-pounders there.
300-pounders, I don't think we should be playing Scrabble with them, but we got a couple of 300-pounders, and it's going to be a wild night between those two.
We have to fill the vacant PCW tag team titles. The Asian Assassins will go against Justin Main and Jack Thriller.
They're going to be all over. The aerial skills and the athletic skills of these 4 men are just going to be impressive just to witness.
They are all tremendous athletes, as are the 2 that will battle for the first ever PCW Cruiserweight Championship with Phil Atlas against the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker, your buddy.
Hey, Mr. Clean, I like him. He's a good guy. It is what it is. Between this man and Phil Atlas, this is going to be a match that people will talk about after they see it. It'll be that good.
And I'm told we will get comments next week from the PCW champion Nitro, as he will battle his now former tag team partner, Gideon Malice, who is the #1 contender.
His best friend, his brother-at-arms, and all of a sudden, there's this division between them. It's a little yellow-haired weasel scumbag named Modfather. And they've started talking now, and I've been hearing some stuff, and, Nitro didn't know what was going on. And, Malice just took this Modfather and an attitude, and here we are.
Well, I'm sure Nitro has been in shock, and you're going to hear from the Modfather coming up. Let's turn back the clock, though, and we'll show you one of our Remember Then matches. And it's Muhammad Jihad Saad against El Bracero.
Got Muhammad Jihad Saad, a fanatic. And then we got El Bracero, one of the best high flyers you'll ever see.
Yep, one of the guys that, one of the first ones, really.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a look at the match. Muhammad Jihad Saad against El Bracero.
Bout will be one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, he hails from Beirut, Lebanon. He weighs 234 pounds, the Palestinian freedom fighter, Muhammad Jihad Saad. He is accompanied by his most holy wife, Samira. Making his way to the ring, from Mexico City, Mexico. Weighs 232 pounds, Supermax L, Bracero.
Well, we got it right from the start here. Bracero just run right in and attacked Saad before the bell rang. You can't blame Bracero for that. These two guys have been round and round in the past. Samira, the most holy wife, again being used as a shield by Muhammad Jihad Saad. The Lebanese freedom fighter. I know, Bruiser, he's about number one on your hate parade, too. Maybe not number one, but close.
He's not well liked.
Off the ropes, collision, down goes Saad. Bracero on the run again, caught a knee that time. Muhammad Jihad Saad quite proud of himself now. Bracero wasn't leaving anything to chance, or so he thought, as he rushed Saad right off from the start of the match.
Well,
Saad goes for a big body slam. Oh, dives head first right into the midsection. And he's got that disgusting habit of spitting on his opponents.
That's right.
I bet you never did anything like that in your career, did you, Bruiser?
I'll tell you truthfully, I never did. I never spit on any of my opponents.
You probably did just about everything else, though, if the legend is true.
Well, it's true. I did everything, but I never spit on an opponent.
Wasn't it you they called the one-man riot squad?
Yes, I started quite a few riots.
There were days, I don't think, when you heard the cheers of the fans. Quite the opposite, in fact.
That's true, but yes.
There's Samira at ringside again. Always got to keep our eyes on her. She is always a threat to any opponent of Muhammad Jihad Saad. When the going gets tough, Samira gets going. She's been seen, we've caught her on camera many times, passing objects to her husband. Now, Bracero, you know what they say about paybacks. Knees into the inner thigh of Muhammad Jihad Saad. Bracero whips him off the ropes, caught him right into the midsection with a hard fist.
Yeah. You know, Terry. Well, maybe I don't think he's got it. No.
Nope, not yet.
Whoops. Every time I see Jihad Saad's wife,
what's that remind you of now?
Well, there, maybe.
In for the count again. Bracero on top, barely to two.
I think maybe that, I used to think it was Jerry Graham dressed up like that.
Not anymore?
No, I've got a different opinion.
What's that?
I think it's Bulldog Don Kemp dressed up like that.
Oh, you think it's the Bulldog, huh?
Yeah.
That's a little more his shape.
Yeah, it's definitely.
In for the count now. Saad on top, pulls his man up. Now that could be a fatal mistake for Saad.
Saad's trying to hurt him now.
I think when you have your opponent down, you darn well better beat him while you can, or something like that might happen to you. Saad rolls out of the ring after that bad miss there.
Whoa.
And Bracero flies. Holy jeez.
Great. Criminy sakes.
That is amazing. Bracero just flew right through the ropes.
Yeah, I was in Japan once and saw them, a wrestler do that, but I've never seen it here in the States.
Bracero, the beautiful move. Caught him with the cross-body black. Look at Samira. Tripped him up.
That's Bulldog.
And Bracero's going after her now. Samira beating a hasty retreat around the ring. Now, what happened here? Did we have a count out, or?
He was counted out. That's exactly what happened.
Maybe just a threat from the referee.
Huh?
Maybe just a threat. I don't know if that was it or not.
Counted out?
We'll have to wait for the ring announcement here and get it officially.
Well, the bell hasn't rung yet. Is the bell rung? Well, the bell rang.
All right, there you have it. Muhammad Jihad Saad did the old hooker by crook, apparently. We're going to swing you in to another match. Frank Stiletto and Will Esquire. And Stiletto, a veteran in the business and a tremendous tactician. And you will see there's a suplex in this match that is just devastating.
Frank Stiletto is one of the best wrestlers in the business. He's dangerous. He's been around a long time. This Will Esquire is a phenomenal young athlete, but he just was outclassed in the experience, I believe, in this match, and it just goes to show just what the experience, the difference does in a match.
And also coming up after this match, you will unfortunately hear from the Modfather again.
We'll hear from the Weasley little blonde-haired puke scumbag, bottom-feeding, scum-sucking little ill-educated moron.
Tell me how you really feel.
I'm trying not to sugarcoat it. I want to say how it is.
At least you're not a name caller. All right, Frank Stiletto and Will Esquire. Let's take a look at the match.
Did I lie?
No.
Okay.
Off the cuff, I just threw that in there. It's written on the back of his tights. He's taking on Will Esquire, and we've seen Will Esquire before, and he's still a newcomer here, just trying to get his feet wet here in PCW, but boy, Will Esquire is very athletic, and I tell you what, Frank Stiletto better not underestimate his opponent tonight.
No, because when Will Esquire took out Sean Casey, I think Sean Casey underestimated him a little bit, and he gave Sean Casey everything he could possibly want.
I think that's smart now for Frank Stiletto going for that quick roll-up, only getting about a 1.5 on that one. Again, Will Esquire is very quick, he's fast, he's athletic, but boy, you want to use that phrase, cagey veteran, that really describes Frank Stiletto.
No question about it. Not only cagey, but he's also mean.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I remember, those on those occasions, and look at that nice, just amateur-style takedown from Will Esquire. But those times that we've seen, and look at that, Frank Stiletto very smart, getting his foot on the bottom rope to break the hold. On multiple occasions, we've seen Frank Stiletto basically fold Tim Horner in half.
I just can't believe that I was forced to announce him as being from every woman's dream.
Oh, and he makes sure that you do that, too.
Yes.
There's threats and coercion in the locker room beforehand. I've seen it, Norm.
More threats than coercion, yes.
And you can just hear those punches just reverberating throughout the arena. Frank Stiletto was all over Will Esquire. Esquire sent in for the ride. He's off the ropes. That back elbow just catching everything 100% on Will Esquire. And Frank Stiletto really is not letting up his attack. I'm sure he probably heard from Sean Casey about, how Sean Casey barely escaped that match with Esquire. Ooh.
Yeah, one calls himself handsome, the other one calls himself sexy, so they probably get along well.
I bet they do. Is there a room big enough for both of their combined egos?
No, but Frank Stiletto's asking where Horner's at tonight.
Yeah.
So.
He's done enough damage to Tim Horner over the last couple of months here in PowerBomb Championship Wrestling. That point of the elbow just driven right into the top of the head of Will Esquire. And really what we're seeing here, this is just a stark contrast from what we saw from Will Esquire in that match with Sean Casey. Frank Stiletto was all over him and not letting him get up at all.
Well, yeah, and Frank Stiletto, he doesn't want to beat competition. He wants to eliminate it.
Oh, look at that now. Real quick roll-up. Does he have him? Not enough to put away Stiletto, and that's just going to really make Stiletto mad, I think.
Did Will Esquire get a handful of tights on that one?
He might have. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do here in PCW.
Well, he is learning then.
Exactly. I wonder if he ordered that Best of Andy Shane DVD that's available. If he did, he'll be busting out a chain here before too long. And
I don't even want to talk about Andy Shane.
Well, and speaking of names, not to take our minds too far away from this.
Because if we say Andy, he'll come out and tell us it's Andrew.
Can I call him Andy? I have to call him
can, as long as he doesn't hear.
All right, well, Andrew Shane. All right, I just want to make sure I'm not on anyone's bad side. Frank Stiletto bringing up Will Esquire, and I think Esquire's going to go for a ride. He's sending off the ropes. Esquire ducks one clothesline. And look at that, a veteran miscue, and there we see the atomic drop. It all started when Stiletto just dropped his head. Another atomic drop, and Norm, the crowd loves that. He got a lot of elevation off that flying back elbow as well, and Esquire feels it here in PCW.
You got to like the spirit and the spunk of Will Esquire.
Boy, this guy is good. He has a great career in front of him here in PCW, and what a statement it would make if he was able to beat Frank Stiletto, but easier said than done. Stiletto has him set up for that devastating suplex.
Right on top of his head.
He's done. He doesn't even have to hook a leg on that one.
Oh, and he pulled him up.
You're kidding me.
That's disgusting.
Oh, come on, referee.
First, he threw him right on his head, and then he pulls him up.
And that's the same thing that he did to Tim Horner with that suplex. Just folded him in half. Now he hooks the leg and pulls him up again.
See, and this is what I said before. He doesn't want to beat his competition. He wants to eliminate it.
And that's exactly what he's doing right now. I think he's already eliminated Real Esquire. Now, what does he have here? Dragon Sleeper, maybe? Unique submission hold. You don't see this one applied that often. It is a Dragon Sleeper. He's already asleep, Stiletto, for crying out loud. I mean, talk about adding insult to injury.
Well, this is one the referee probably should just stop.
Yeah, I don't even know why you're bothering raising the arm.
Look, and look at Will Esquire.
Is there still life in Esquire?
Still fighting. Nope, he's not.
That's it. Your winner is Frank Stiletto.
It's PCW PowerBomb Championship Wrestling, your chance to see it live. Coming up on Sunday, January the 25th, International Boxing Club, 525 Earlwood Avenue. Doors open at 4, bell time at 5 o'clock. 3 big title matches on the card. You will see. For the PCW Cruiserweight Championship, this is the first ever Cruiserweight title match. It will be the Righteous Maker Rick Baker as he battles Phil Atlas, match that could very well steal the show. Also on the card for the PCW Heavyweight Championship, the champion, Phil Nitro Monahan, has to defend against the #1 contender. It's his former tag team partner, Malice, and he'll have the Modfather in his corner. Also, you're going to see Andy Shane on the card. We got the big powerhouse Broderick Shaw, who's coming in for this card. He will debut. Also, you're going to see a battle of 300-pounders as Will Studd, the first PCW champion ever, will take on Big Chuck Wagon. But for the PCW Tag Team Championships, the title is vacant. It will be Jack Thrill and his partner Justin Main to take on the Asian Assassins, who have taken on a manager. And once again, it's the Modfather.
I want to ask you people a question. Do you know what Sony Pictures and Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. have in common? They both fear the Asian Assassins. Dr. Jerry Graham's done everything he could in his power to keep me out of PCW, but his power wasn't strong enough. On January 25th, the International Boxing Club, I'm taking over. The Asian Assassins will be the tag team champions, and then I move on to the Cruiserweight. The Triple Crown, I'll have the Heavyweight, the Cruiserweight, and the Tag Team Champions, and there's not a damn thing Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. can do to stop it.
Whether you want him here or not, he's here, and it all comes your way Sunday, January the 25th at the International Boxing Club, and you are not going to want to miss it.
Somerset Bingo Hall, Toledo's premier bingo hall, 7 nights a week at the corner of Douglas, Lasky, and Tremainsville. At Somerset Bingo Hall, doors open at 5 p.m., Lightning at 6, and Series at 8 p.m. Sundays, doors open at 11 a.m., Lightning at 1, and Series at 2:30. Somerset Bingo Hall, Toledo's premier bingo hall, 7 nights a week.
Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the road.
Welcome back, PCW PowerBomb Championship Wrestling. I'm sure you enjoyed the Modfather there.
All I can say is, after that little dirtbag talks, I cannot... Bathing doesn't help. Showering doesn't help. I need to be autoclaved. That's how scummy that little dirtbag is.
Autoclaved?
Autoclaved. Absolute.
Look it up in your fucking wagon.
I'm just saying.
Wow. And that, of course, all has to do with January the 25th, International Boxing Club, 525 Earlwood Avenue in East Toledo. The doors will open at 4, bell time at 5. You want to get your tickets now and beat the rush? You can get your tickets now and go to our website at pcwexcitement.com. All right, more matches here tonight. This one is a terrific one, and we believe we're going to see both of these guys at some point here in PowerBomb Championship Wrestling, and that is Chris Carnage against the Voodoo Murderer. And if you don't know who the Voodoo Murderer is, he was in 3 Minute Warning. He is the older brother of Roman Reigns and the son of the legendary Sika.
The Voodoo Murderer is one of the best big man you'll ever see.
Was with Rosie and the Hurricane and tag team champs and
superhero in
WWE.
training.
Yep.
One of 3 Minute Warning. One of my personal favorite was one of the Island Boys with Eck, and as one of the absolute best. And he's actually down with his father in Florida right now, training, getting in shape, and he's excited to come back to PowerBomb. We've talked a few times, and he's looking forward to coming back. And on that note, Carnage was going to be here. Chris Carnage. But after a bad back injury, he's rehabbing, and as soon as he's healed, he plans on coming back here. But these two, just two monsters, one giant muscular beast and one just monster Samoan, is just a battle of two monsters.
Yeah, and this was the first time that they collided. It is Chris Carnage against the Voodoo Murderer.
And they're not even waiting for the bell to ring. The Voodoo Murderer taking on Chris Carnage here in PCW. Norm, these are the two biggest competitors, I think, ever here that we've ever seen in PCW.
Oh, I couldn't get out of that ring fast enough. And the Voodoo Murderer, he's the son of Sika. He's been in the WWE. He's been all over the world. He tore up New Japan Wrestling. He's here in PowerBomb Championship Wrestling, and he is ticked off.
He is really upset at Chris Carnage. He's really upset at Pastor Payne. And Pastor Payne kills me. He uses these guys, uses them, and just discards them then when he can't use them anymore.
He wants that heavyweight championship gold. Pastor Payne does, and he'll use anybody to get it. He was trying to use the Voodoo Murderer. He didn't get it with the Voodoo Murderer. He didn't get it soon enough. So Pastor Payne puts the total blame on the Voodoo Murderer.
And the Voodoo Murderer just clubbing Chris Carnage with that clothesline. And again, you're looking at guys that are just massive, huge. I mean, there's so many.
Oh, gosh!
And he turned Chris Carnage inside out with that clothesline.
That moved the ring. That moved the ring 6 inches.
I'm still in disbelief. We're going to have to maybe reinforce the ring, fix the ring, do something after that. Now, both of these wrestlers are outside, which is really where Pastor Payne likes to be, but it's all Voodoo Murderer right now. Carnage goes headfirst into that ring apron, and Pastor Payne can't believe it, but look at that. Pastor Payne gets a few words in, then quickly runs for cover to try and get away as far away as possible from the Voodoo Murderer.
Wow!
But look at that. Voodoo Murderer just really is taking that boot right into the midsection as Chris Carnage really recovers, but now Voodoo Murderer fighting back. Just back and forth. These guys are impervious to pain, Norm.
And that's hard to believe.
Yeah, ridiculous. These guys are just dishing out so much punishment and taking so much punishment. You see what's funny, how Pastor Payne doesn't want anything to do when the Voodoo Murderer is on offense. He's like, no, not at all. I've stood next to the guy. You've stood next to the guy. It's not fun.
Yeah, I had him put his hand around the front half of my head before. Oh, my goodness.
And just Chris Carnage, doing really the only thing he could do, which was sending Voodoo Murderer into the steel of that corner post. And now look at that. Pastor Payne, a little bit too close for comfort now. Since Voodoo Murderer is not on the offensive, Pastor Payne came in with a, wow.
I think Voodoo bent that ring post.
He did. There's a slight curve to it right now.
And look at Pastor Payne. What's he sticking back into his pants?
I'm not sure. I thought I heard something jingling, like, change, coins. I'm not really sure what that was.
Cheap shotting like he normally does.
Exactly. That's what Pastor Payne does best. When the guy is down, he'll just add another boot in just for good measure.
Oh, gosh. Did you see the height on that?
The thing about Chris Carnage is, when you watch him, the elevation that he gets, he jumps, he stands on the ground and does a standing jump to get into the ring to start the matches off. I mean, this guy is just an incredible athlete.
Well, Voodoo's down 6'6" when he's down on the mat.
Yeah, again, we're looking at, I believe the two biggest competitors we have ever seen here in PCW, and they're just going at it back and forth. And Carnage is going to try and put the Voodoo Murderer in a bear hug. I'm surprised he can get his arms around him, Norm.
Well, if these aren't the two biggest wrestlers I've ever seen, they're the two biggest southpaws I've ever seen.
Exactly. I never thought there would be anyone that could actually get in there with the Voodoo Murderer and maybe, match him, size-wise.
Well, there's one way of getting out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I think Chris Carnage does that. Look at that.
A drop kick? Are you kidding?
He hit him squarely in the chest. He got up there a good 6 feet. Carnage goes for a cover. He does hook a leg. Voodoo Murderer close to that rope. Able to break it.
And Chris Carnage is over 300 pounds. A standing drop kick from a 300-pound monster.
That connected 100%. Now working that rear chin lock, just throwing all of his weight onto that back of the Voodoo Murderer and really just cinching in with that rear chin lock, just trying to suck the life right out of the Voodoo Murderer.
You got to wonder how much energy that the Voodoo Murderer expended here early when he had the upper hand.
Well, you've got to think, when you look back at the history of the Voodoo Murderer here in PCW, the matches really don't last that long because he makes quick work of his opponents. And all of a sudden now, maybe getting into uncharted territory as this match is not ending in 5 minutes, but we're really getting deep into it. Will he have the stamina to keep going?
Well, this is not what Chris Carnage wants. He doesn't want Voodoo to get to the vertical base.
No, and he just did that. He's back up to his feet, tries to throw in some elbows. Carnage now is off the ropes. Voodoo Murderer catches him with the chop, that just open-handed chop right into the throat. Clothesline takes down Chris Carnage. Maybe that gave Voodoo Murderer enough time to recover. Carnage now is reeling. He doesn't even know where the Voodoo Murderer is, but this is where Chris Carnage does not want to be.
Oh, jeez.
He's just pancaked in the corner.
Oh, here it is, a Samoan drop.
Oh, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. He's right on top of him. Referee is there. And look at that. Pastor Payne just drug the referee out of the ring, for crying out loud.
How does this guy even still have a manager's license?
And did you see that? He just threw a chain into Chris Carnage. That's what was in his pocket. And Carnage has it behind his back, but the referee doesn't see it. And he just kills the Voodoo Murderer with that punch with his hand wrapped around that chain.
Oh, you can't count now.
No way. No way. Awful. Referee didn't see it.
Your winner of the match, Chris Carnage.
Oh, and Pastor Payne is just beside himself right now. He threw the chain into Chris Carnage. The referee did not see it.
This is ridiculous.
Wraps his hand up with it, Norm, and punches the Voodoo Murderer. It is actually now what I believe may be the first person in PCW to pin the Voodoo Murderer.
Not only should Pastor Payne be disqualified for putting his hand on a referee, he should be disqualified for the chain.
Should be barred for life, Norm. That's what I think should happen.
This guy is just disgusting.
On so many levels.
Heaven help us all if he gets a hold of gold. And the Voodoo Murderer is definitely hurt.
But I can tell you, Norm, we know how intense the Voodoo Murderer is. This is not over between the Voodoo Murderer and Chris Carnage and Pastor Payne.
Well, he's just poked the big dog with a big stick.
Yeah, I don't know if I really recommend that. The Voodoo Murderer, I'm sure at some point will get his revenge. It's not PC.
It's PCW.
PowerBomb Championship Wrestling.
All right, there you saw the match. I think the first of 3 times that the two of those got into a PCW ring.
I told you once again, these two guys are so big, so tough. It's one of those where the Waco kid would turn to Sheriff Barton and say, don't take your gun. If you shoot him, you only make him mad.
Make him mad. All right. We want to remind everybody, not only is PCW back on Sunday, January the 25th, the International Boxing Club, but if you have a nonprofit organization or a athletic department, a school athletic department, you're looking to raise money, you can do that with PowerBomb Championship Wrestling. Just get a hold of us through our website at PCWexcitement.com, and we'll tell you how you can do that. You can use us and raise some money. And there's lots of great causes to be able to raise money.
We love raising money for schools, churches, any organization that's doing good for people. We want to be there.
All right, let's get to our main event here on PowerBomb Championship Wrestling. Your buddy, the Righteous Maker Rick Baker, against Sean Casey.
I tell you what, these are two incredible athletes. I hope you won't think less of me cheering for Sean. I just feel I have to. But with that said, two incredible athletes, and at least Rick Baker doesn't have the mod father, that little scum-sucking peon for a manager.
And the obvious line is, I couldn't think less of you. So, but I wouldn't say that. I'm just teasing.
It's okay.
It's not true. At least not anymore.
I can't help if you're my fan.
That's a low blow. All right, it's Sean Casey against then D-Ray 30,000, now the Righteous Maker Rick Baker.
The confidence, or any of us had the confidence, of Sean Casey, who is missing his manager / valet.
She is not here tonight, but boy, that's not stopping Sean Casey from talking a boatload of trash on his way to the ring, is it?
I wonder if maybe she just had enough of it.
That is possible, because there are times as we're commentating his matches, I feel like I've had enough of them. Unfortunately, we have to stay here.
Well, you might want to check, though, before you call her.
Exactly. Sexy Sean Casey taking on D-Ray 3000. Really excited to see this again as we talk about just, top of...
Because if there's nothing wrong, and you call Tiana, Sean may not be real happy about that.
Well,
You don't want to be messing with Sean Casey.
Well, and quite frankly, if I look back at my failed romance with Amanda Ruffin, that ended up in a restraining order. So, I don't know. Yeah.
Could it technically be called a romance?
Well, it was a one-sided romance. At least I thought it was.
That's called stalking.
Well, that's what the judge told me. That's exactly how he phrased it, Norm. I think you talked to him.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a tremendous matchup, and you got to believe that whoever wins this matchup would be right in line for a title shot here in PCW.
And here's the thing with both Sexy Sean Casey and, of course, D-Ray 3000. They don't care who it is. They will wrestle anyone on the roster here in PCW, and we've seen that time and time again, whether it be Tiger Jackson, whether it be the Pitbull, doesn't matter. These two competitors will take on whoever's put out in front of them. When Sean Casey taking his good, sweet time here before this match actually officially locks out for the first time.
Well, D-Ray, he knows all the moves. No question about it.
The thing with D-Ray 3000, though, this is a guy, for whatever reason, that bullseye has been on his back since day one here in PCW. He's always, he seems to be a marked man. Whether it be, Pastor Payne, whether it be the sharp-dressed man, someone always is out to mess with D-Ray 3000.
Did you expect a clean break out of Sean Casey? That wasn't going to happen.
Heck no.
I can't believe D-Ray would think he'd get one.
No. And the very dramatic, Sexy Sean Casey, amping things up to the nth degree. Does Sean Casey ever stop running his mouth?
No. He probably talks in his sleep.
I bet he does. He'll be running his mouth all the way through this match. I just hope D-Ray 3000 can take it to him.
Well, if he can
just told the referee to shut up.
Well, good luck on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
But if he could get his opponent's focus off of the match and onto a verbal sparring, he's done part of his work.
And that's what we've seen with Sean Casey time and time again, really trying to get into his opponent's head with the constant jibber-jabber, with all this and that and the bright lights and whatnot. And all of a sudden, his opponent then right for the pickings. D-Ray tries to get himself out of that side headlock, tries to convert that into a top wrist lock. Not enough behind it, though. He's going to try it again, it looks like. There we go, going to soften him up a little bit there with that elbow right into the middle, punching in the middle as well. Send Sean Casey off the ropes. Shoulder tackle, D-Ray goes down. Casey is off the ropes. Up and over goes Sean Casey. Big leapfrog. Casey stops, though. Has to showboat, turns his back to D-Ray. Finally turns around and is met with a punch. That kisser he was just bragging about 2 seconds before. Might want to take a look in the mirror because I think D-Ray 3000 rearranged a few of those features.
D-Ray 3000 has never looked better in the ring.
He's very focused.
No question about it. I think he was kind of taken aback when he came in to PowerBomb Championship Wrestling about the competition, the intensity, and maybe underestimated things a little bit. But those days are over.
Shoulder tackle from Sean Casey. Outside in sunset flip, D-Ray rolls through. Basement drop kick right into the grill of Sean Casey. D-Ray 3000 goes for that cover, hooks the leg, and Sean Casey gets out at the count of 2.
And D-Ray's almost got a little, I wouldn't really say mean streak about him because he's not that type of guy, but he
more
will,
aggressive.
Yes, absolutely. And you better have that here.
Oh, you need that with guys like Sean Casey, with the sharp man, with Sebastian Rose. You have to Andrew Shane. You have to bring that. Casey goes in off the ropes, jumps over D-Ray. That back elbow right again into the kisser of Sean Casey. D-Ray is off the ropes, dropping that knee right into the chest. Goes for recovery. He's right on top of him. Doesn't hook that leg though, and Sean Casey is out at the count of 2.
Once D-Ray realized that everybody was not going to play fair here.
Well, yeah, and he certainly had a run of bad luck. There's that jawbreaker from Sean Casey. Casey's off the ropes.
Don't ever count Sean Casey out of anything.
And that swinging net breaker, D-Ray goes down. That string of bad luck where he tried to befriend the Pitbull, Rodney Van Doren. He's had his dealings with Pastor Payne. And just even talking with D-Ray beforehand, you could just tell, in his tone of voice and just his whole attitude, his demeanor, he realizes now what it's all about.
You can say what you want about Sean Casey, like him or don't like him, but he is put together. He is strap steel, and he is thick.
I mean, this is a guy, since day one, since he broke into the wrestling business, and he is no stranger to professional wrestling. He has taken care of his body, and he looks like $1 million.
No question.
Which is why he was the guy when they needed someone to show Randy Orton how to wrestle, when they needed to show John Cena how to wrestle. Who did they call? They called Sean Casey. And this is the guy that D-Ray 3000 has to deal with right now.
Needless to say, there's not much that Sean Casey hasn't seen.
No. Sean Casey has been in the ring and gone toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar, of all things. And he took it to Brock Lesnar.
And survived.
None the worse for wear. And the thing is, when you talk to Sean Casey, he will always remind you of all the people that he's trained in this business. Never really modest.
Well, just in case you don't know.
Well, exactly. Going to catch him with that diamond cutter off the
Oh,
rope.
my! That's got to be it.
They landed right in the center of the ring. Sean Casey is right on top, and D-Ray's not going to be able to. Yeah, he's done.
2 and all. Foot on the rope.
I thought they were far enough away to where D-Ray was not going to be able to do that, but enough presence from D-Ray 3000, knew where he was.
I don't know.
Stamina to kick out, but he was able to get that leg on the bottom rope.
I don't know if he knew where he was or not. Oh, look at
this.
this.
Pulls him up. Does he have him?
No.
No. Sean Casey quickly turning things back in his favor with that clothesline. So much momentum off of that clothesline. He went down as well. Is it a cover or is it a choke? It's really hard to tell from our vantage point.
Might be a little of both.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of a combination there.
No, and Sean Casey.
And Sean Casey, really that spinning diamond cutter that he likes to do off of that top rope, that has put so many people away here in PCW. Not enough, though, to put away D-Ray 3000. Casey is up on that middle rope. He's perched. Reminding all of us who he is.
Oh, please.
Maybe a little bit too much showboating. I think a lot of showboating there. And D-Ray is able to get his foot up.
The one chink in the armor. Ego.
Exactly, and that is huge. A huge chink in the armor because it is a huge ego on the part of Sean Casey. Casey misfires on a clothesline. D-Ray doesn't miss.
Oh, he's got a second wind.
Oh, and D-Ray doesn't miss again. Second win. Yep, you got it right there. Look at that, just firing away on Sean Casey. Sends him in off the ropes. Big backdrop. Casey goes up and over. D-Ray feels good right now. Now look at this. You just said Andrew Shane just came out of the ring.
Oh, what's he doing?
Pulls D-Ray 3000 right off of Sean Casey. Why is Andrew Shane out here of all things? Well, and the referee is talking with Sean Casey. Casey says he's injured.
Oh, big super kick.
Just playing possum there.
Oh, no.
Goes for a cover, and Sean Casey's your winner.
Your winner of the fall of the match, Sexy Sean Casey.
Now what's this? Why is Andrew Shane out there?
Well, the two of these guys were PCW Tag Team Champions.
That is right.
These guys go way back.
A long ways back, and Andrew Shane coming out there sensing that Sean Casey was in trouble, and while he was in trouble, basically costing D-Ray 3000 the match. There's no other way to, you can't mince words there. He cost D-Ray 3000 the match. D-Ray is beside himself right now. Referee did not see it. D-Ray 3000, distracted by Andrew Shane, was met with that super kick from Sean Casey, and Sexy Sean Casey is your winner. It's not PCW PowerBomb Championship Wrestling.
It's PCW PowerBomb Championship Wrestling Live. Your chance to see this live and in person coming your way on Sunday, January the 25th at the International Boxing Club, 525 Earlwood Avenue, East Toledo, Oregon, right off a Star in I-280. 3 big title matches on the line for the PCW Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Phil Nitro Monahan, will have to defend against the #1 contender, who is his former partner, Malice. All right, also on the card, we will fill the vacant PCW Tag Team Championships as the Asian Assassins will go against Jack Thriller and his partner, Justin Main. Andy Shane will be on the card. Big Chuck Wagon on the card. Also, Will Studd will be on the card. But the first ever PCW Cruiserweight Championship will be on the line. Phil Atlas comes back to PCW, and he will take on this guy. He is the Righteous Maker, Rick Baker.
Well, it looks like the righteous maker Rick Baker is coming back to Toledo in the first time in a long time, Norm. And see, this time it's for the PCW Cruiserweight Championship. Well, you know what? Nobody 225 and under can beat me. You see, I may be here with a new name, but I've been around PCW for a long time. I've been knocked around a whole bunch of times, but you know what? January 25th is my time. So Phil Atlas, I'm gonna beat you and win the championship, the Cruiserweight Championship, righteously.
This could be the match that steals the card. The righteous maker, Rick Baker, Phil Atlas for the PCW Cruiserweight Championship. You want tickets? You can get them now at PCWExcitement.com. It's Sunday, January the 25th. You're not going to want to miss it.
Since 1905, Red Wing Shoe Company has been making purpose-built work footwear. The skilled employees in our 3 U.S. factories build over 1.2 million pairs of shoes annually. We are the largest Red Wing shoe dealer in northwestern Ohio with over 2,500 pairs in stock. Stop by our newly renovated store at 2122 North Reynolds Road. Shoes and boots that have served generations of hard-working people.
I shop at Seaway Marketplace because they have the fastest lines in town.
Seaway Marketplace.
This is my store.
I buy almost all of my produce here at Seaway Marketplace for my home and my restaurant.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace Deli has the best chicken in town.
This is my store. I shop at Seaway Marketplace because of the big selection of meat and seafood.
This is my store.
Seaway Marketplace, corner of Cherry and Bancroft.
Seaway Marketplace. This is my store.
Breathe deep, the cooling air, sun setting tonight. You gotta make your mark, load up on the road.
Stunningly, this guy got involved again in another match.
I'm like the gift that keeps on giving.
You can't understand why you and Rick Baker kind of do this. All right, that'll wrap things up here on PowerBomb Championship Wrestling. Don't forget, it is Sunday, January the 25th. International Boxing Club, 525 Earlwood Avenue. If you want to get your tickets in advance, go to our website at PCWExcitement.com. And next week, we will hear from Phil Nitro Monahan, the PCW Heavyweight Champion.
He's got a lot to say about what's going on. He was taken completely off guard by this. I look forward to find out what's going on.
And as this guy demonstrated about 3 times in this show, it's not PC.
It's PCW.
PowerBomb Championship Wrestling. We'll see you next week.
Load up on the road. Intent, one last look in the mirror. They're gonna know you.